So Andrew just bought his dream car the other day. It's a 2024 Corvette C8 3LT. This thing is specced out. This thing is beautiful, man. I've seen it in real life the other day. Oh, there's a little red tip sticking out, hey.
Yeah. Don't show the people yet. Hide it.
Stop playing, okay?
Let's see. Woo. Uh-oh, you set up car alarms. Oh, no way, dude. I've never seen that shit before. Hell yeah.
Feels good, bro. Regular.
Dude, let's go, baby.
It's all about standards, guys. Don't tolerate anything less and you'll get everything that you want.
And I'm so proud of him, man, because 60 days ago, he was in the spot I was in like a year ago. He was making like $4K a month online with his fitness coaching business. He had like 7,000 followers. And in just 60 days, he was able to 5 times the amount of money he was making with his fitness coaching business and buy his dream car. And now he's living here in Miami. And that's the same exact thing I did just, last year. I was stuck, man. I didn't know what to do. I had 130,000 followers online, and I still do, but I was only able to make like $3,000 to $4,000 a month from that. And I just felt so dumb, I'll be honest. And then I hired a mentor, and he simplified things, honestly. He didn't get me to do more, he got me to do less, and he simplified the process, and I was able to hit my first 10 grand month within just 30 days. And then from there, of course, I reinvested in other mentors and everything, but I've hit 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 months, and now I've literally living the life that I used to dream of. And if you're thinking about chasing your dreams, and that's something you want to do, and fitness is your passion, and you want to get paid to just be jacked, bro, and help out others, this video is for you, because I broke down exactly what I've learned, and I also taught Andrew that has worked for him, that has helped him literally 5 times the amount of money he was making with his social media. Guys, he only had 7,000 followers. Now he has like 13, but he didn't have a massive following. He wasn't famous, and he wasn't in the game for that long. He only started his coaching business a couple months ago, and then allowed him to move to Miami and buy his dream car. And if you want to chase your dreams and you want to live a life like this, I promise you, what I'm going to do for you in this video is I'm going to simplify things down, because success isn't about addition, it's about subtraction of the things that don't work. And so I literally broke it down to 3 simple steps on exactly what we did to make this happen. What we did for his content, what we did for his content funnel that converted people from viewers to actually book calls, and then what we did for his sales system, how we actually got him to sell high ticket fitness coaching and make over $20,000 in August. And at the very end of this video, I also have the first call me and Andrew ever had. It was the onboarded call. We go over everything from his offer to his fitness to his clients to the video sales that are everything inside of there. So at the very end, you'll be able to see that call. It's a little bit long of a video, but I can promise you one thing. If you want to chase your dreams, if you want to make money, if you're in shape, or even if you're a coach stuck between that $3,000 to $5,000 a month mark range, this video, if you take what I'm going to teach you in it, it could change your life forever, because this information changed my life, and this information recently just changed Andrew's life as well. And if you take it and you're actually serious about it and you actually implement it, I can promise you one thing. Some of you guys are only 90 days away from hitting your first $10,000 month with a fitness coaching business. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to get into the video, but make sure you take notes. And make sure you put your phone on Do Not Disturb and actually listen to this entire video, because I put weeks into making this video, and it's incredibly value dense, but you gotta pay attention to pick up the value inside of it. All right, boys, I'll see you guys in the video. Love y'all. Deuces. So this wasn't made specifically just for the call today. I was gonna make this YouTube video, which still might turn into it, but it's pretty much how to buy your dream car if you're in decent shape, and everyone here is in decent shape. Everybody here has made a transformation. And there's this study that's been going around. I don't know if you guys have heard it. You got to be living under a rock if you haven't heard it. But they say it's easier to become a millionaire than it is to get in shape. Which is kind of mind-blowing, because all of us here are in shape, but we're trying to make money. So it's kind of like there's no way it's easier to, become a millionaire than it is to get in shape. But I know, like, personally living in Miami, there's a lot more people out here making money than there's people in shape. I've been here for 9 months. There's a lot more people who have money than are actually in like amazing shape. So what that means is, like, if you're in shape, you actually have something more valuable than whatever that millionaire making $1 million has, if you want to think about it that way. So it's like the skill set you have is actually really fucking valuable. It's just, okay, how do we actually monetize it? How do we actually convert that into cash in our pocket? Because that's what's most important. And that's where most people struggle, and that's why everyone's here today, right? But this is going to be a case study on how Andrew bought his 2024 Corvette C8 in the past 60 days with just his physique. Right? And everyone here should be able to achieve their fucking dream car within the next year if you take action and do things properly. And most importantly, believe in yourself and don't tolerate no negative bullshit inside of your fucking life. Right? Because if you have a good physique, once again, you're in the top 1% of men. It's harder to get a six-pack of abs than it is for a millionaire to become a millionaire. Remember that. And believe in fucking that. Believe in your fucking self. That right there should give you insane self-confidence. Okay? It's all about the self-identity. But let's get into it. So, Andrew was suffering from a little bit of what I like to call broke bodybuilder syndrome. Right? It's where you're a bodybuilder. You're somebody who is dedicated to your physical excellence. But you're not getting paid for it. You're not making the amount of money you should be making for the skill set you have. A lot of you guys here have amazing transformations. Some of you guys, like Justin, for example, went from 280 to less than 200 pounds in the past 2 years and completely transformed your life. Some people overcame vices, addictions, lustful addictions, anything. Right? You guys have made amazing transformations. But you should be getting paid for it by helping out other men to make that same transformation as well. Right? So, when Andrew came, little background, because he changed everything really quick. Nobody really saw like what was happening before. This is June 2025. I actually got the screenshot of where the Instagram was at when he first came around. He had around 8,000 followers, and the structure of his Instagram and content funnel were set up correctly, but the psychology behind it was off. And so he's missing out on cash each and every single day. What I mean by that is he was following the perfect 3-line bio method, right? Line number 1, who you help out. Line number 2, DM keyword. Line number 3, call to action, and then the link at the very bottom. But if you look at it, he goes, helping skinny fat men unlock their full potential. Okay, that's all right. But if you look at the call to action, he goes, how I reinvented my life in 6 months. It has nothing to do with the who I help out statement. And then if you dive deeper, if you actually click on that link in the bio back in the day, it brought the audience to a video that goes, what getting in shape taught me about women. So you can see the psychology is already getting like fucked up. People are already getting confused coming through here. Okay, he helps skinny fat men unlock their full potential. Okay, so I'm going to click on this video and learn how he reinvented himself in 6 months. And then he's talking about what getting in shape taught me about fucking women. And then even if you go deeper and click on the link to the description there, it brings people to another landing page for all the career-driven men out there that are tired of not seeing any results in the gym. If you're skinny fat, this video is for you. So once again, like the funnel was all right, but the psychology behind it was off. If anybody actually went through this funnel, they probably got more confused than they were prior to entering the funnel. And that's a big no-no. If somebody, first off, is following you, but second off, going through your funnel, they best have more clarity after following you and after going through your funnel than they did before. If you drain their bucket, right? Imagine a viewer has a bucket of water. It's their energy. And they're spending their energy on your content and in your funnel and on watching your YouTube videos or whatever. If you're draining their bucket while going through that, then you're just going to turn that viewer away. You're going to make them more confused. And they're never going to buy your shit. But if you fill up their bucket by providing them more clarity as they get deeper and deeper in your funnel, and they're like, oh, I get it more. I get it now. All right, I'm understanding on a deeper level exactly how you're going to actually help me make this transformation. Exactly how you're going to help me move away from struggle and move towards pleasure in life. All right, that's when people buy. Because you earned it. All right? You got to coach people first before you actually coach them. What is coaching though? It's shifting thoughts and beliefs. It's providing clarity. It's making it so simple to understand exactly what to do to achieve success in life. So if your content and your content funnel doesn't do that, then you're not going to get coaching clients. And that's why the conversion was off. That's why I had 8,000 followers, but the conversion wasn't where it could be. Okay? So here's the 3 key ingredients to making money with your physique. And this is what was messed up, okay? Attention. The first thing you need is attention. And the key to getting attention, if you don't have attention right now, is a repeatable message. And we'll dive into the repeatable message we got for Andrew to fix his Instagram attention. Number 2 is conversion. This is where Andrew was really messing up back in the day. It's because his funnel was all over the place, right? The simple fix to conversion is just having a simple funnel with clear messaging all throughout it. It's so simple to go through. Doesn't distract people. It's not super complicated. It's just so simple that even you would probably overlook it. Like sometimes we think it has to be super complex. No, the more simple it is, the better, because the less resistance. So by implementing a simple funnel, which is part 2 of all this, we increase conversion. And if people are converting, it's all about sales then. All right, and to increase your sales is all about having a clear offer, because clarity in offer equals confidence in the buyer. So once again, the reason Andrew's physique hasn't changed a whole bunch in the past 3 months, but his pockets have changed, he's made more money, is because, okay, at first he had attention, right? He had some attention, he had 8,000 followers, but his conversion and sales were messed up because the funnel was all over the place and there was no clear offer. His Instagram had one offer, his YouTube had another offer, his funnel had a third offer. The offers were all over the place. People had no clue who he helped out. And so the offer never spoke to somebody at a deep level to the point where that person was like, this is for me. And that's what you got people to say to themselves, is like, this is for me. This is exactly what I need. If you can get your viewers to say that to themselves, that this is exactly what I need, that's when they buy. Okay, so here's the 3 parts we're going to cover in today's mastermind. Part number 1 is fixing what we did to fix his Instagram. That's all about gaining attention. Okay, part number 2 is fixing the content funnel. So that's all about converting the audience you have. And part number 3 is fixing the sales process. So if people are converting, if they're reaching out, if you're getting DMs, even if you're booking in calls and hopping on calls, but you're not closing, then part 3 is really going to help you out. So the first thing we did when Andrew first came on is we looked for content market fit. Now, he already uploaded dozens and probably even hundred pieces of content, which is great. You guys got to shoot, then aim. You just got to post, because then you can reflect on what you posted and find content market fit a lot quicker. Versus trying to overthink it and overanalyze it to the point where you don't take enough action that you can't aim. It's all about repetitions, right? The guy who goes in the gym 6 days a week and just works his ass off is going to grow a lot more than the guy who goes in the gym and like overcomplicates things and tries to do things to perfection, and he's counting down his fucking rest times and all that fucking crazy shit. The guy who just brutally takes action each and every single day, regardless of any negative beliefs that may hold him back or any fucking procrastination that may come his way, is always going to be the guy who will win the most. And luckily Andrew was in that position. He had over 100 posts. So we're really able to find content market fit right away. Now, what is content market fit? It's pretty much this. So every single piece of content boils down to 2 things. Number 1 is topic, and number 2 is format. Every single video has a topic and a format. That's it, right? And so when you're looking for content market fit, you're looking to identify the topics and formats that do well for you. And that's how you can find content market fit. Just like finding product market fit, it's finding what products does this certain part of the market like. It's the same with content, right? What topics and what formats do people like from me? And so when we took a look at Andrew's Instagram profile when he first joined on, there was these 3 videos that really stood out, right? There was these 3 big outliers. These all had about 100,000 views. The rest of them had like 1,000 to 10,000 views. But these 3 really stood out. And you can barely see it right here, but I can read it to you. This was like, my love handles went away when ... And then the format of it was pretty much just putting the actual value in the caption. This other one right here is five signs you have a physique that demands respect. And then this third one right here was something around losing your love handles as well, getting abs, right? And so we were able to see that the formats that did well were simply just the viral caption and audio formats, right? It was just the 5 to 7 second long video and then pointing people to the caption to gain the value. But then also the topics that did well was building a respectable physique, which was kind of his old lingo, and then losing your love handles, getting abs. That's what people liked most from him. If he did different formats like this talking head, talking about different things like decisions, nobody gave a fuck, right? And it's not bad to post that, but if you want to grow quickly and you want to gain attention, which is, you know, the first part of all of this, you got to find content market fit. So if you're still looking for content market fit, take a look at your profile. If you haven't posted at least 100 posts, then just post. But if you posted at least 100 posts, you got to go through your profile and look at the topics and look at the formats that have done well. Analyze them, understand them, because then you can double down on your content market fit, your top performing content. And that's exactly what we did. First off, though, we actually took a look at his content market fit and we positioned himself to actually align with the content that was doing well. Because if the content, like right here, once again, losing love handles, building a respectable physique, if the majority of people were coming in from that content, but then they came over to the funnel he was running at the time, like helping skinny fat men unlock their full potential, how I reinvented myself in 6 months, what getting in shape taught me about women, it just doesn't align with what was bringing the mass audience in. Okay? So he positioned himself first off. So I said to him, make your bio this. helping men lose their love handles and build a body that demands respect. That's perfect. That summarizes the exact topic those 3 videos blew up around. Building a respectable physique and losing your love handles. All right? So by positioning him correctly, there was alignment. Alignment started to happen. And then the call to action line became lose your love handles and build a body that demands respect in like 7 days. That's what it is now. This is an old screenshot. But now, because this content was bringing in people who are interested in this topic, and because he was positioned correctly with aligning topics inside of his bio, more people are actually clicking on that link, which we'll talk about that in a conversion over here. But yeah, it was super simple finding top of funnel content. You know, after we just analyzed what was doing well for him and doubled down on that, we increased his top of funnel content. Once again, top of funnel content is all about creating attraction and awareness to your profile, right? Gaining new followers, but also increasing awareness to your current followers. Just because you say something once and it does well does not mean you should stop talking about it. People need repetitions so they finally get it. I don't know about you guys, but I can't remember a person's name the first time I meet them. I gotta ask them their name maybe 5 or 10 times before I finally get it. Because most people need repetitions to finally remember something, to finally understand something, right? And so once you see the messages that do well, that your audience likes, that they respond to, that they hate even, you know, just what is doing well, you gotta double down and double down and double down and double down. So not only do you gain a new audience of what's working well, but you give your current audience more of what they came to you for. Once again, I always say, if you sit down at a steakhouse and they fucking serve you sushi, you're gonna be pretty pissed off. You're like, bro, I came for steak, you're giving me fucking sushi. You know? If they came for steak, give them motherfucking steak. So, by doubling down on top of funnel content, and once again, that was super simple, just by finding his content market fit, by analyzing the topics and formats that did well, he gained another 6,000 followers in just 60 days, which is amazing. That's 6,000 more potential leads. So in 60 days, he gained over 6,000 followers. He went from, what was it, right around 7 to 13,000.5. And he'll probably be at 100,000 by the end of the year doing this. So yeah, with that alignment, the content funnel, or I should say the Instagram profile, actually blew up. And then more conversions started to happen. And that's part number 2 of all this. This is where we really had to fix that conversion. The way you fix that conversion is just getting the right VSL in place, right? Before all this, the VSL had nothing to really do with what people were, like, first off following him for, but especially clicking on the link for. So we had to create alignment once again. So the VSL we came up with was how to lose your love handles in 7 days, step-by-step guide. Now, why did we do this? It's pretty fucking simple. The reason we came up with this topic on how to lose your love handles in 7 days is because we knew this full guide would give his Instagram viewers exactly what they were looking for based on his top performing content. All of the videos that blew up with him, right over here, these all have over 500,000 views, was getting abs, losing love handles, building a body that demands respect pretty much. So we go ahead and create a full guide for them. Because inside those short form pieces of content, they're getting a tidbit and so on, but if we create a full guide and we just send more people to the full guide, then we get more conversion going on. Because of the 4 pillars of marketing. To convert people online, you need to nail down these 4 pillars of marketing. That's who are you, right? Who are you? Who is Andrew? What do you do? Right? What do you do for people? What is your offer pretty much? So what does Andrew do? Helps people lose their love handles. Of course, we extrapolate that. Why do you do it? Extremely important. That's your story, right? Why did you make this transformation? And why are you trying to help other people make this transformation? And also, how do you do it? That's the last step to those 4 pillars of marketing is how do you do it? People need to understand how you help them out because then they have confidence in your offer. Or okay, he clearly understands how to help me out. Like, he just made it so simple for me to understand exactly how to make a transformation, and that creates confidence in buyers. So we nailed down those 4 pillars of marketing inside the VSL. And the outline of it was super simple, right? We just took the steps he would take a client through inside of his fitness coaching and took the viewer through that same exact journey so they had a clear understanding on how Andrew helps people lose their love handles. All right, once again, the reason people don't buy, the reason people don't convert is because they have unanswered questions. They're not sure if you can help them out. They're not sure if it's worth purchasing. And so if you can clearly communicate how your coaching helps somebody out, and especially if you go on a deeper level, how it helps somebody overcome struggles, or I should say move away from pain and move towards pleasure, and you got to be specific with those 2 things, that's when they're like, okay, he gets it. He can help me out. right? So we just took a look at, okay, well, what has Andrew done over the past couple of years in his fitness and his nutrition and his habits and his mindset and even in his environment to become the man he's became, right? Lose his love handles, become a respectable man. We simply just broke that down into a script, all right? Broke it down into a clear process of results in a Google document. And then we just recorded a day in the life VSL. We just took them through his day-to-day life, showing how he woke up at 4 a.m., showing the morning journaling, showing the morning process, showing him tracking his macros, showing him cooking the foods, showing him training, all those different things. That's exactly what he would take a client through. And he just made a video out of it. So people can just see exactly, okay, this is exactly the process that he is teaching that he would get me to follow if I was to be inside of his coaching. All right, that not only provides value, but it's going to convert people. Once again, because it's answering the how part of marketing. And then the call to action inside of this Day in the Life VSL was really simple. And this is why I love Day in the Life VSLs. For a majority of you guys, I start off with a slideshow, but we want to make the Day in the Life VSL because a regular VSL kind of can seem a little bit salesy. You know, they see the slideshow and they're like, okay, I'm probably getting sold, but let me watch it either way. But if you give the viewer a sneak peek into what your coaching would be like and simply say, by the way, if you want complete guidance and guaranteed results, you can apply to work with me one-on-one down below. A lot more people look at you as a guide and not a salesman, right? Because you're actually practicing what you preach inside the video. If you literally just like showcase them incredible proof that you're practicing exactly what you preach through a Day in the Life VSL, and then you say, by the way, if you just want like completely tailored plans, you know, if you want me to set up your habits for you, if you want me to make your nutrition for you, if you want me to make your training for you, then you can apply to work with me down below for one-on-one coaching. And that's why these Day in the Life VSLs convert so well. Now, the funnel on the actual VSL changed a little, right? The VSL before, once again, he had one before. Like I said, the actual, the fundamentals of the funnel was good, but the psychology wasn't there. Because he goes, apply to work with me, it brings them to another fucking funnel that just does not align with it all. The funnel now became a type form, right? Why a type form over like a Calendly or a website? First, a website or a landing page there's just way too much going on. Like websites, landing pages, they're out of date, man. Especially for fitness coaching, they're out of date. They don't work. If people don't know how to get in shape, then how do they know how to make correct decisions? You know, getting in shape is just making fucking correct decisions. And so that's why you don't do a website or a fucking landing page, because people don't know how to make decisions if they're out of shape. So you gotta make the decision-making process so fucking simple. And second off, a Calendly's high pressure. It means they have to book in a call with you, all right? And so most people don't go through with it because it's like, fuck, well, I gotta hop on a call, and they know it's just gonna be a sales call. But if it's a type form, we find it's a lot, there's a lot less friction with a type form. Because it's not like an instant book in. They just give you their information, tell you where they're struggling, tell you their goals, tell you their financial investment levels, and then you get the submission coming to you, and then you reach out to them, you have a short convo, then you book them in, right? Once again, actually kind of gaining more frame as well. But we find the type form works the best. And then we also set up the type form just to come through Slack. This is a little bit higher level stuff. You don't need this, but if you want instant notifications when somebody actually submits a type form, then you can kind of set up a Slack, Zapier automation. But pretty much what happens is the type form submission instantly comes through to the Slack channel, so he can instantly get notified and reach out to that prospect right away. Speed to lead is most important. Sometimes I see guys like leaving DMs, you know, unopened or seen for like 1-2 days because they don't know what to say, and it's just like, bro, when people decide they want to make a change, you have to help them make that change in the shortest amount of time possible, because their emotional investment will eventually die down, you know? If somebody's out of shape, they've been tolerating that for months. And if that one day comes where they're like, you know what, fuck it. They submit like a type form or something like that, and you don't get back to them, or they DM you, don't get back to them in 24 hours, they're probably just going to fall into their old programming of being fine with being out of shape and tolerating a life that they don't want to live and a physique that they don't want to have. So speed to lead is so important. You got to be quick with people who want to make a change. So that's how we fixed the content funnel, man. It was pretty simple. Align the VSL with the top of funnel content. Align the positioning with the Instagram with the top of funnel content. And give people a sneak peek into actually his coaching side of the VSL. Make it a Day in the Life VSL. Decrease friction to actually take that next step by using a type form. And then just making sure you got a notification for the type form so you got speed to lead. That's the big thing we did for conversion. And then what ended up happening there is we got a whole bunch of calls booked in. This was last month's, this is the numbers we tracked last month. So last month was what, July? You got 31 calls booked. 31 booked. So like a call each and every single day. 25 showed, which is pretty good. 18 offers made, now it's getting bad, and then 8 closed. So this is how we fix the sales process, because this is bad. 44% close rate is fucking terrible. People say industry standards like 35 to 40%. That's terrible. Nobody should be tolerating 35 to 40% close rate. It's absolutely atrocious, right? You should be shooting for 80 to 90% close rate minimum, meaning like each and every single call you hop on, there should be a close happening there, right? Because it's your job as a coach to first off help somebody make a change. But the only reason people don't close, once again, because everyone's applicable for fitness coaching, is because they have unanswered questions. And so it's your job to make it so clear to people exactly how they can make a transformation to the point where they would be fucking dumb to hop off that call and not take action. If that makes sense. You're like, you should be giving them a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make a change. That's how clear your coaching should be. That's how clear your process of results should be. And I'm kind of jumping ahead on exactly what we did here, but in order to fix this, something we did is, first off, we implemented the Badass High Ticket Sales Framework, which is inside of everyone's Notion. It's pretty simple. The sales framework is just that. It's the 5 questions. So take control of the conversation right away. Dive into a prospect's current situation. You just ask that by saying, so what motivated you to hop on a call with me today? You want to fully flesh out where somebody's currently at. And then dive into their desires and goals, right? So tell me, what exactly are your goals in the next 3 to 6 months? You really want to understand where somebody's at, where their pain and their struggle currently is, and also where they want to go. What are their goals and desires? Now you have A and now you have B. Then you got to ask them, okay, well, what is exactly stopping you from bridging the gap between A and B on your own? All right? You can say that by, so what do you think is stopping you from achieving X, Y, and Z on your own? Right? And this is where you want to find out the exact problems they're facing. And then the 4th question is create urgency by asking them the simple question of, this is great and all, but what happens if we don't make this change and achieve these goals? The reason we do this is to create urgency. Once again, if somebody's out of shape, if somebody's just like not mentally there, it's because they've been putting off making a change. Okay, so it's up to you to create urgency to get somebody to finally change by getting them to understand the cost of inaction. Everyone here should understand how valuable life is. You don't have a moment to waste, right? And if you treat your life that way, then you shouldn't tolerate somebody else that you're on a call with treating their life the opposite. All right, you are the coach. They should be abiding by your laws of life because you know how to live life correctly. So don't be scared of asking this question of, well, look, bro, this is great and all, but what happens if you don't make the change realistically? What happens if you're the same exact person 6 months from now? All right, and make sure they aren't fine with that because they shouldn't. We should all, as men, be extremely fucking ambitious to be different each and every single 6 months. And then the last question there is, well, why now? Right? Ask the prospect, so what makes you want to hire a fitness coach now? And that's where you finish off the sale because that's where the prospect actually starts to sell themselves on you. After you complete those 5 questions, the sale is done. And that's when we move on to the closing framework. And so I repeat this to everybody. You may have heard this before, but I want to run through it. The closing framework is simple. And this is super important to nail down. Anybody can sell, but not everybody can close. It's really easy to sell, in my personal opinion, but closing is a completely different game. So the first thing is the perfect fit pitch. What that simply is just like, hey, look, man, Jonathan, I'll name him Jonathan, okay? Jonathan, I think you're a perfect fit for my coaching. Not because you want to lose 10 to 15 pounds of body fat, or not because you want to lose your love handles, but because you're in that exact same spot I was like a month ago, where you lack confidence inside of yourself, and you really didn't like the life you were living. And you got cheated on, you came to the conclusion that the first thing you must do as a man is conquer yourself, right? Get in shape and master your mindset. And that's exactly what I did. And when I did that, my life completely changed. And that's exactly why I started my coaching. Because I was so inspired by my profound transformation that I want to help men just like you make that same exact transformation. That's the perfect fit pitch right there. Alex Hormozi said this once, you can sell pretty much anything if you can effectively communicate your offer to a prospect in their own language using their own experiences. So you see how I just like hit that perfect fit perfectly? You gain all the info on who Jonathan is, and then you tailor your offer. Because he's not just selling lose your love handles and build a respectable physique. That's just like the headline, right? He is specifically tailoring his coaching to somebody's specific struggles and their specific goals. and just communicating that using their own language and their own experiences. And that's what gets people to think, this is exactly for me. This is exactly what I need, with that perfect fit pitch right there. After you nail that down, ask for permission to present solutions. So look, Jonathan, would you like to hear exactly how I'm going to help you make this transformation? All right, then you verbally communicate exactly how you're going to help them bridge the gap between their struggles and their desires. Right here, how you're going to exactly help them bridge the gap between where they're at and where they want to go. All right, align fitness, nutrition, habits, and mindset. Tell them exactly how all of the pillars of your coaching, how your clear process of results is going to help them make the transformation. Once you do that, test the waters to make sure you effectively communicated it by saying, so after going over everything, does that sound like it will work for you? And if they say yes, then they explain why you're good to go. If they just say yes, then make sure you ask why. After that, and you can't miss out on this, you got to list out 3 non-negotiables. You got to gain the most amount of frame in the sales call before you price drop, because that's instantly when the prospect takes control of the call. So you got to gain frame right before that. The way you do that is by getting more micro commitments, that they are willing to do what it takes. All right? So the way people do one thing is the way they do everything. If they start micro committing to these small things, then they are more likely to make a major commitment to a big thing. So the 3 micro commitments are like, look, Jonathan, I think you're a great fit, but I want to make sure you're right fit for my coaching. Are you sure you are willing to track your macros and morning journal each and every single day? Are you sure you are willing to check in with me each and every single Saturday morning without fail? You just go over all the little non-negotiables of your coaching and get those micro commitments. Because if they say no to actually fucking taking action, then they're going to feel like a bitch. And then verbally communicate the next steps to joining, so make sure there's nothing stopping them now. So, okay, that's perfect and all. Just want to make sure you're right fit for the coaching. The next steps are, we'll go over investment options here really quick. We'll find the best program for you. And then once we find that, we'll establish communication through iMessage really quick. I'll send you over the payment link. Once you get that filled out, I'll onboard you right now, and we'll get you set up right now. Does that sound good? You know, just make sure they're willing to get started now. Then you price drop, and then you go for the close or you objection handle. And then from there, you onboard a book a follow-up call. That's the simple sales framework. I don't want to dive too deep into it anymore, but just wanted to review it with you guys. So once we implemented that, Andrew still had a lot of, well, I don't have the money for this. And right here is a spreadsheet of all the calls right here. This was of last month. You can see call. And all of them are brokey, lost him at trying to finance them. Said he would pay, then got home and didn't. $80 down payment, not financially qualified. Just a lot of like, I don't have the money. But the thing is, if I right now said this Lamborghini is $2,000, even if you have $1,800, you're going to find a way to get $200. Because the perceived value of the Lamborghini is so high that you're willing to do whatever it takes to buy it for that price point. It's the same with your coaching. If people gotta think about it or the price is too much, it's because the perceived value of the transformation isn't worth whatever the price tag you have attached to it is. So you gotta build up the perceived value to the point where literally you like the prospect shouldn't even be able to put a price tag on your coaching because it's that unique and it's that specific to them. That's how you escape that $250 a month regular coaching fucking price point, right? Because now you're no longer just an accountability coach that anybody can replicate. You are somebody who is like a unique person, of one, and you have exactly what this person needs. You guys relate on such a deep level that you have gone through exactly what they're going through, and you understand exactly how they can escape their current struggles. And there's nobody else who can do that for them. And that's how you can sell high-ticket coaching. That's how you can close like almost each and every single deal. Because it's so fucking valuable, you can't put a price tag on it. So when you do put $3,000 on it, it sounds like a fucking deal. And so once we did that, and the simple way we did that is just badass offer creation that's inside the school. Just really fucking nail down the offer, and we're going to dive really deep into offer creation here really quick and actually how to extrapolate your offer and content, because that's most important as well. Once we did that, we had a lot more closes, man, because clarity in offer equals confidence in buyer. All right, so if sales right now is your bottleneck, it's probably because your offer fucking sucks. Okay, it's not clear enough. But once you have a good offer and you got clarity in it, you'll have confidence in the buyer. So here's like the overview of what a high value offer, is, how to create one. First is, of course, the headline that simply communicates the transformation you help people make. This is going to be like that really narrow headline, like, I help men lose their love handles and build a respectable physique, right? But now going on a deeper level, you got to get clear on your ideal client profile, struggles, and desires. And guys, it's so simple to understand this. It's done through self-reflection. Your ideal client struggles and desires are your past struggles and current situation. Because the people who are most applicable for your coaching are the people just a couple steps behind you. They're buying into what exactly you did over the past couple years of your life that has helped you move away from pain and move towards pleasure so that they can do it in a quicker time frame. And so all you gotta do is think about what have you gone through in the past, what pained you, what made you lay in bed at night and think, fuck, my life sucks, that you have overcame, right? And then also, what did you used to desire that you have right now? That's exactly what people are gonna buy into. So you're gonna get really clear on that. Third part about this is a clear process of results that bridges the gap between struggles and desires. So once you understand, once again, A and B, struggles and desires, you got to think about exactly what you have done to bridge that gap yourself. So my personal transformation, I built a Greek god physique even though I have bad genetics. The way I did that through a morning routine, through morning journaling, through writing down my goals, getting clear on them, creating daily processes, through hypertrophy shredding training, through this certain style of eating, through reading these certain self-improvement books. Like, I just lived this certain lifestyle. That was my clear process to results for Team Handsome PR, all right? That's what helped me bridge the gap between my struggles and my desires, that helped my clients bridge their gap between their struggles and their desires as well. So your clear process of results is just the simplified version of what you've done. It's literally just a boiled down version of what has taken you years to learn. And then the fourth part of the high value offer is also irresistible pricing and clear deliverables, of course. Like, the pricing model we should all be following is the two pricing options, with one of them being a fake pricing option. What do I mean by that? You shouldn't be selling like monthly coaching at all. You should be selling a 3-month and a 6-month coaching program. 3 months, for example, $2,000, 6 months for $3,000. If anybody buys the 3 months for $2,000, they're kind of a fucking dumbass, because they can pay $1,000 more for the 6 month, and they get twice as much value from you. All right, so the 3 month is kind of just like a fugazi option. The 6 month is the best option. That's why it's irresistible pricing. So you get the paid in full, but the client also gets the amount of time they need to truly make the transformation that they came to you for. And then clear deliverables, just, clearly understand exactly how you're going to help them out. Are you using the Notion dashboard? Are you using Trainerize? Do you have like a Miro board on how you morning journal, for example? Identify your clear deliverables. Now, here's a little bit more of an extrapolated concept of how to create an offer. So this is kind of more talking about content, right? If you use the Badass Offer Creation Guide inside of the module inside of school, it will help you create this part. But this over here is like the psychological breakdown of communicating your offer to people inside of your content so people understand it. So there is people, for example, there was the book Alex Hormozi wrote, like $100 million offers. And that kind of got people to believe that there's got to be a perfect offer. Once you have the perfect offer, you get the most amount of sales. But the thing is, then we look at guys who make a lot of money online and you have no fucking clue who their offer is. There's some of these guys, you don't even know what the fuck their offer is, but they make a lot of money. How do they do that? Each and every single individual video that they have is communicating their offer. Because your transformation is so large, you can't just compact it down into one offer. You've transformed physically, mentally. You've transformed understanding nutrition. You've transformed relationship-wise. You've transformed spiritually. You've transformed in all these different realms and areas of your life. You can't just compact that down into just one offer, right? Now, you do want to have like that main headline offer, of course, right? That main thing. But then if you really, really, really want to communicate your offer, then you have to extrapolate all the different aspects of it. So on the left side over here, we have struggles, past experiences, and like FTE stands for fuck this events, right? If you want to communicate the pain points of your offer, it's talking about your struggles in your content. It's talking about the past experiences you've had, the bad ones. It's talking about the fuck this events that you've gone through. I talk about mine all the time. Flipping burgers for $15.50 an hour, girlfriend cheated on me, holding back tears, decided I was going to quit work, etc. That was a fuck this event. And you're putting that all into content. Right? That's communicating the pain points of your ideal clients. And on the right side over here, we have the desired situation, the pleasure situation that you should be communicating in your content to your ideal client profile, your ideal client, right? Which is pretty much where you're at, the goals you've achieved and the direction you're heading in life, right? So talk about what you've achieved. Talk about how it makes you feel, right? Talk about how it's impacted your life that now you've lost weight, or now that you've gained weight, or now that you've gained confidence inside yourself, or now that you've tracked macros for 6 months straight, or now that you cut lust out of your life, or now, married, that you went celibate. That's talking about your goals, things that you've achieved. And then also direction. Where are you heading? You got to clearly communicate to people where you're heading in life because you're a leader, all right? Your followers must understand where you are leading them to. So you got to communicate your direction as well through your content. Now that's like a really extrapolated overview of how to communicate an offer through content, because your offer is going to be so fucking massive. There's a lot that really goes on. And once again, there's a whole pool of pain points and desires out there that your audience has. And all you want to do is pick out certain ones and pick out other ones and connect them together pretty much with your offer, right? Andrew just isn't helping people lose their love handles and build a body that demands respect. He's also helping people overcome divorces, overcome breakups, gain confidence in themselves, build up their social media, all these different things. And the only reason people can understand that is because he talks about it in his content. Now, when it comes to actually communicating that offer, it comes down to the clear process to results, right? So communicating the bridge, I should say. You can talk about the left side, you can talk about the right side. You can talk about the pain, you can talk about the pleasure. But you also got to bridge the gap. That's what your offer does. And to help people understand exactly how your offer bridges the gap, it's all about that clear process of results and communicating it each and every single day. So for example, Andrew does this really well. He posts his morning wake up time. He posts his morning journaling. He posts his Bible reading. He posts his workouts, his macros, all those little different things that has helped him pretty much make the transformation that he's made over the past couple of years. That's his clear process of results. That's what he gets his clients to follow. And that's exactly what he has followed and is continuing to follow to bridge the gap between what he's running away from and what he's running towards. And that's exactly how he's helping his clients run away from what they're trying to run away from and get to where they're trying to go. And so you got to understand your clear process of results and communicate that through your content, especially your stories. Showcase the proof that you're actually practicing what you preach. And then when you're actually talking about the pricing and deliverable points of your offer, it's all through the sales call, right? You're not going to be talking about that in the front end of the content. It's all going to be on the sales call, just so we understand that. So once you go through the full guides of the school, once again, you can just copy and paste that document, write it out for yourself. Once you have that sheet done, go take a look at your content profile and ask yourself, where is there no awareness in my content profile? Right? Where is there no awareness about this struggle that I've overcame? Where is there no awareness about this experience that I went through? Where is there no awareness around this event that I went through? Right? Where's there no awareness about etc. Right? Once you fully communicate all of that in your content, now people start to get your offer. They're like, oh, I fucking get it. Right? So that's offer, and that's how we increase sales rate a lot. I'm about to show you guys what we did with the sales. It got really fucking good. But the reason to increase the sales is because sales is the transfer of belief, right? That's all it is. Selling somebody is the transfer of your belief. And the best way to have more belief that you can transfer in a sales call is to heavily understand exactly your offer. All right? Exactly understand how you can help somebody make a transformation by exactly understanding what you did to make a transformation. So it's pretty much all done through self-reflection, clearly identifying what you've done, what you've achieved, what helped you, putting that into an offer for somebody else, and then communicating that to somebody else and speaking it, of course, with confidence and fucking conviction. All right? And then you can transfer that belief on a sales call. Because once again, your offer is the bridge between somebody's pain and somebody's pleasure. All right? And the reason people don't buy is because they have unanswered questions around your offer. And so if your content just fully fucking communicates your offer, if you can fully fucking communicate your offer to somebody in their own language and in their own experiences, it's pretty much impossible not to fucking close. Okay? So once we did that, the outcome was 150% increase in close rate. All right, so this month, and we still got 7 days to finish this off, but so far this month, 16 calls booked, 14 showed, 14 made, which I do want to touch on that. 14 offers made on 16 calls booked. If we come back to over here, 31 calls booked, 18 made. What that simply means is more of his ICP was actually showing up on the call. All right, and again, your ICP isn't something you attract, it's something you make through communicating your offer on a deeper level to people. Because anybody is applicable to buy fitness coaching, but they just have to understand how your coaching helps them out. And that's why when he hopped on calls with people, an offer was made to everybody because they actually came for the right reasons. And then 12 closes. So that's an 85% close rate. That means almost each and every single person who hopped on a call pretty much closed. So 14 made, 14 showed, 12 closed. Only 2 people didn't close. And that's perfectly fine. That's going to happen. There's going to be people in this world who just aren't going to change either way, and you just have to accept that sometimes. All right? So 85% close rate versus a fucking 44. And that's the biggest thing I want to touch on. Because even though this is a close rate on a calls, and some of you guys are maybe sitting here like, well, bro, I'm still trying to get calls. You'll get more calls if you fucking nail this shit down to get his call rate up. All right? Because if you fucking communicate this through not only your content, but also your funnel, it's going to change everything for you. It's all about alignment in all aspects of your life, of your business, and of your content. If there's complete alignment in all those 3 areas, it's next to impossible to fuck this shit up and ever be poor. And that's exactly how Andrew bought his Corvette C8 over the past 60 days. All right, boys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Andrew, you got anything to say about this?
Fuck yeah, bro. I just want to say, huge shout out to Ryan. And I want to say, y'all follow the methods. Y'all look in the school. Pretty much everything you'll have is in there. I would say the most important part about the whole process is kind of focusing on your personal development. There was a lot of things going on in my life, which probably attributed to why I wasn't doing well in business. And Ryan really helped with the funnel. The funnel was all fucked up in the messaging. But your success will never exceed your personal development. So if you can't coach yourself, you're not going to be able to coach others, and people sense that at the end of the day. So really practice what you preach to the best of your abilities, and people will start to be attracted to that energy and want to know how you do it.
Yeah. You touched on something the other day. We were on a call, I think, or something, and you were like, I said energy's everything. You're like, damn right. What have you learned about energy, bro? Because energy's everything. It's like once you guys hit your first 10K a month, 20, you're going to realize there's a whole different vibration that you're vibrating on that you're like, what the fuck, dude? So it's like it's just something you attract through your personal development once again, through getting aligned. What have you seen change there, though? How did it feel before? How does it feel now?
I would say I feel a lot more aligned with the version that I see myself becoming. I think before there was a lot of self-doubt, a lot of limiting beliefs. And it's like being surrounded with you guys in the program, the community, you kind of see what's possible. And then the utmost confidence you always had, you never really doubted it at all. You're like, yeah, dude, we're going to triple your sales, bro. We're going to raise this shit up to the moon. I'm like you had no confidence. Or no doubt. And I'm like, why do I doubt myself? And he's not even doubting this. So it's really just trusting the process and understanding that it's going to happen for you.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of part of the process and being able to see it through even when it's not there. But yeah, I would just say my ability to handle pressure a lot better now.
Yep.
My ability to not really be doubtful of myself, in more abundance, right? Operating at a higher frequency. You mentioned.
If anybody here in the call right now is at the point where they still haven't brought a little bit of their dreams to fruition, maybe they haven't made that first sale, maybe they haven't gotten that first video to blow up, whatever it may happen, maybe they're made their first couple sales, but they're not 10 grand a month yet, then I need you to understand you need to believe in yourself more than anybody in this fucking world will ever believe in you. Success gets easier as you get more successful because then you gain people in your life who believe in you more than you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just the snowball effect. But it's up to you to get that fucking snowball rolling right now. So you need to believe in yourself deeper than you ever before have, and believe in yourself deeper than anybody else will ever have. Because your belief is exactly what you can achieve. And a man cannot rise above what he does not see in himself. And so if you don't see the successful version of yourself coming in 30 days, then you're going to stay exactly the fucking same. You need to wake up every morning, delusionally think to yourself that in 30 days this is going to happen, to the point where if it doesn't happen, your fucking central nervous system starts to freak out, right? And energy is what runs this world. If you truly understand that, we live in a world of vibration and energy, and your central nervous system is the fucking energy system of your body, right? And what I found when I finally broke away from my old identity, working a regular job, to finally escaping that shit and working fucking, the dream job, was simply my nervous system would freak out when I was living that old reality. But I felt in alignment when I was taking action towards the reality I wanted to live, So it all comes down to a shift in your self-identity. You got to delusionally tell yourself each and every single day what you're going to achieve. Repeat it over and over until you achieve it. And then set bigger goals and repeat it over and over until you achieve it.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you have to do. You have to envision it.
Yeah. Yeah, because what you noted is we said to you, me and Ted said to you, this is what you're going to achieve. And you're like, fuck, really? You know?
Yeah, I know.
But because we placed that belief on you, you opened up your actual mind to attract that into your life. And that's the most important thing. Once again, a man cannot rise above what he doesn't believe in himself. Right? 100%. If a hot girl comes your way and she's like, I want to fuck, but you don't believe she wants to fuck, man, you're going to be like, no, hold on. You're not gonna let it happen, you know? Because your mind just can't conceive that this is real right now. This is happening.
Yeah.
You don't believe you deserve it. So it's like, first off, the belief to actually deserve it takes a shift in your mindset. Second off, it actually takes action and real alignment with the best version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It all stems back to self-improvement and alignment.
Yeah,
and through
really
that, everything can shift. And even on the minuscule level, I know some of you are aligned in your actions, but you still tell yourself that old story. If you still tell yourself the old story, Atomic Habits, bro, read the fucking book. Actions outside of a self-identity which does not align with those actions will not last long, nor will they prosper. They won't actually bring anything to fruition. Because you are as a man thinketh. Your life is as a man thinketh. Right? So every single thought you have is pretty much like a fucking a flower or a weed even. Right? And like, what ones do you give more energy to? Are you weeding out weeds, or are you giving them more fucking power each and every single day? Be really careful about the thought or the energy you give to your thoughts.
Yeah, and I think you made a good point too. Like, if someone's personal development, like they're doing really well, but you mentioned about if one thing may be off, that'll fuck up everything.
Yeah.
So having that self-awareness and understanding, okay, like I'm doing everything, like personal development, working out, track my nutrition, you know, what else could it be? And like sometimes it's like the thoughts you tell yourself. That's probably the most important thing.
The morning of you got the C8, you told me when I went to go pick up the Urus, you said, I'm going to get a C8 today. I didn't believe you, but you believed it so much. You said, I'm going to get a C8 today. I'm like, no way. He's like, I'm going to get a C8 today. Little did I know, I saw an Instagram post later he got a C8. He had no plan to get that C8. He just found it, and he hit up the company and went and got it. It's the same thing when I bought mine, bro. I saw it, and I was like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. To the point where it was my fucking obsession. You know, if you really want something, it's got to become obsession.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your offer and the transformation you're providing?
What do you mean?
So your offers pretty much help skinny fat men unlock their full potential, right?
Yep.
So how do you feel about this current offer, and how do you feel about the transformation you're providing to people? Like the path, like my path is I'm gonna help you live a badass life, right? The transformation, you're gonna make $25K a month, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you feel about your offer and transformation?
I changed it a few times. I feel like this is more like in line with giving them like that vision instead of like, because I had like before like some like help them gain 10 pounds of muscle, like that shit. But I know you have to like frame it like a package, like a premium package.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. I feel like it resonated with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I kind of put that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it resonates with me, then it'll resonate with like-minded people.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, here's where we're gonna start. So here's your notion. You can pull it up on your end, but here's some notes I'm seeing. Not enough cognitive dissonance going on. So cognitive dissonance is pretty much creating a gap in people's mind between where they are, where they should be, and where you are and where they are. So we need more cognitive dissonance. For example, how old are you? 22?
Yeah.
22, right? We need cognitive dissonance to get other 21, 22, 23-year-olds to see you online and be like, this guy's just like me, but he's so much farther ahead. Cognitive dissonance also in the content. Like, again, this guy's so young, but he's so much mentally farther ahead, and he is showcasing exactly how out of alignment I am. So let me break this down. I didn't sleep much, so I'm going to try my best. We want to use your story to position yourself as a leader for those men who think partying and getting girls is more respectable than self-development, right? That was kind of your story. So like, there's a lot of guys doing what you used to do, but they're never really going to have that fuck this event that you had, right? And it's kind of up to you and your content to get them to see that route they're going down and get them to make the change before they kind of are going to have to learn to make that change, right? That's going to really position you as a leader and an authority figure. And that's going to create a lot of cognitive dissonance, a lot, right? That's why these young guys online make so much money because, you know, we're 20, 21, 19. We're making so much, we're in such good shape. And so these older guys online or even, you know, same age are just like, holy fuck, this guy knows something I don't, but he's just like me. And that's why I call motivational marketing, is getting people in your audience to think, this guy's just like me, and I think like him, and I almost maybe live like him, but I don't have the same outcomes as him. And that's what creates valuable coaching, right? Is like, analyze why you bought in. You're like, hey, Ryan's just like me, but I don't have the same outcomes. That gap is what people buy into. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
And how would that be structured? Like a post, like
Now we'll break it down. Got it. I'm gonna go over these though, and then also another thing is engagement is low, right? You don't have many more views than me, you know, that's one thing, but your engagement's low. You know, I maybe have twice as many views on Instagram as YouTube, but my engagement's a lot higher, right?
Yeah.
Where what I'm noticing on your Instagram and YouTube is your engagement is really low. I was looking at your link clicks. That's why I wanted to look at with those photos. And your link clicks extremely low, which is not good, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, I think it was literally only like 2 weeks ago, my Instagram account had like 1 million views, but I had over 1,000 link clicks.
Damn.
Right, we're back up to 2.8, literally just because I put a trial reel of this dumb post that did well in the past, and it got 1 million views. So realistically, I only have like 1.8 million views from good videos, and got over 1,000 link clicks. So you got 318 external link clicks, while having a pretty decent amount of views, 1.3 million. But then also your interactions are low. So your views are up, but your interactions is low. Why is that exactly? I would say that's just, I think it really just comes down to your messaging and your brand and a lot of things we're going to do when it comes to content, right? Like from the outside, I'm able to see what you should double down on, but you probably aren't able to see it.
Yeah.
So we're going to double down on what people like, what's working well, and that will increase engagement and link clicks. People need repetition and content every single day, same message, same message, same message. Because first off, they feel more safe and comfortable coming back to you. But second off, they're going to go deeper in the funnel because after 10 videos of you saying the same thing, like one day it finally hits them like, oh, I get this now. This is actually something I'm interested in. They go deeper in the funnel and they get booked in a call. That's the most important thing. So that's why I think engagement is low. We'll fix that. Consistency and value is high. Like you're so consistent and you provide so much value. Like you've uploaded way more YouTube videos than me and way more stories than me. Right? Your consistency is extremely high and your value is extremely high, but you're definitely not getting paid what you should be getting paid. And that would come down to this is the funnel is messy. So your Instagram, go see YouTube, right? You come to YouTube. And then we come to the links here. Oh, you changed it up now.
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, I think, was it this video?
There's other videos where I didn't change it.
So
that one, yeah.
What we want to go on is we want people to come to YouTube, go to the CTAs in the link to the description and see it's the same CTA as Instagram. Because I find with fitness coaching, people generally only coming through the DMs. They generally don't book in through the links and descriptions. Like you got to be a real YouTuber to make a lot of money with links and descriptions. For example, the guy who crushed it with YouTube and fitness coaching was John, but he didn't get people to book in through YouTube. He got them to come to his Instagram and book in through there because they kept going to his YouTube, seeing that, oh, it's just a Calendly, and it's the same thing I'm going to get out of the Instagram DM conversation. So it's just like a loop back around. Where this, they come to your Instagram, they come to these links, and these links just drive them somewhere else.
Yeah, I know. I screwed myself up. I got to remove all that.
Yeah, so we don't need these. Definitely don't need these. Definitely don't need Typeform. And then also on this page, it's just showing results. It's I wouldn't say really telling what the transformation really is, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That was just a shitty VSL that I made. I gotta remove that, bro.
Hey, bro, I've made plenty of dumbass funnels. So
I'll
that's
remove
one
it.
thing. We can remove that.
Yeah.
Your story is not being used enough is another thing.
Yeah.
Right? I see you're adding it in now, which is really good. But your story is what's gonna really get people to like and trust you. The physique will bring people in because you have an incredible physique, like genetically gifted, and we'll
Thank
get you
you.
on some Reddit True Tide to make it look right. But then your story's not being used enough to build that trust and likeness to get people to be like, bro, I really want to work with this guy. And then especially once we have a community going, I really want to be in this community.
Yeah.
You know, we got to create FOMO. So that's also part of the cognitive dissonance is the fear of missing out. That's why we really got to figure out the path and the mission that we're on, that we're providing to our audience, because at the end of the day, we are influencers. We're not online coaches. I'd remove online coach. We're not online coaches. We are influencers. We're trying to influence a certain message and then make money with our one-on-one coaching. All right. You don't want to position yourself as an online coach. You want to just be Andrew Aguilar.
Google.
Is that what it is?
Aguilar.
Aguilar. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you want me to remove online coach then?
Yeah, all day. And then I don't understand Forever Drew when I search you up. When I search up Andrew in my search bar, it was like the last search. So Forever Drew should literally just be Andrew. Fuck, what is it?
Andrew
Aguilar.
Yeah.
Right. So that it pops up a lot quicker instead of Forever Drew Online Coach. Literally just your name once again.
Okay. That's easy to fix.
Yeah. And then pin post will not set up properly. So what I mean by this is good. Like this is showcasing credibility, client testimonials, but I think we're going to have a better offer for you, a way better offer that is going to align with your top performing content. And then what we're going to do is double down on your top performing content. Your offer is going to align with it. And also this new offer aligns with literally your story. So it's like a perfect synergy between content, offer, and you, which is what needs to happen. I always say this. You're number one. You're priority number one. Priority number two is the business. Priority number three is the social media. So what does that mean? You take a look at your transformation. You build a business, an offer, a system, a process that provides the transformation you've made. Then you make content around that to attract people into the business, right?
Yeah.
That's why I say we're not using the story enough. And also, maybe it's just because, I don't know, have you ever had a mentor? Like,
No, never.
Right. So you haven't had somebody outside of you to really look at like you and be like, hey, this is what will work best. So that's gonna all align a lot better. And then the pin post, and what I mean by that is like if we keep these, you can keep them for now, but we'll adjust them over time. These pin posts won't align with your new offer, right? These guys are just losing body fat, but they're not making a identity shift, and that's what sells, an identity shift, right? That's how to separate ourselves from somebody like Hani Rambod or all these other really good coaches, right? Is we're creating identity shifts, not coaching.
Yeah.
The biggest thing. And that's also how it's so easy to get client results is you focus on the identity shift and not the actual, like, you focus on the coaching, but you make that priority number one. Like, that's why I say join the group calls. Because it's literally me screaming for an hour about self-identity. And that's like most important. So we want to have client transformations that showcase this new self-identity, which is going to be attached to your offer, which is going to be attached to your story. And then once you have all that just like aligned, then it's like undeniable that you're the go-to guy for this transformation. Okay?
Yeah.
Cool. So this is one thing your new high value offer should be. And I got this because of your top performing content. And honestly, just what I see from you is helping men build a physique and man worthy of respect. That is like a self-identity shift. And if we take a look at some of your best content, 5 signs you have a physique that demands respect. My offer that really helped me was build a badass physique, right? And at the end of the day, the highest human desire is reproduction, right? So helping skinny fat men, lose weight and get abs, like that doesn't really link into these dumbass people's mind that makes them more fuckable.
Yeah.
But if we talk about having a physique that demands respect and we use your story talking about girls, but also just like like getting respect from men in general and getting what you want from life, like that tells people, okay, I'm going to become more fuckable.
Yeah.
Right? That's why my badass physique headline, and also, Bill of Greek God physique, even with bad genetics, they were like, oh, this makes me more fuckable. Even though they're not thinking it, like that's just how human psychology works.
Yeah.
Always trying to buy into things and do things that make us more fuckable.
That's true.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what was it? Can you repeat it one more time?
Yeah, so helping men build a physique and man worthy of respect. So I think your CTA inside of your Instagram, the first headline, build a physique and man worthy of respect. Or, I help men build a physique and man worthy of respect. Like, dude, I've literally had guys hop on calls, be like, I don't care what the price is. I literally will kill myself if I don't make a change.
No way.
Oh yeah, dude. I have guys literally say, I'm gonna buy into your program because I can't break up with my girlfriend that's cheating on me because I'm a bitch and I gotta become badass.
That's crazy.
So that's also creating the cognitive dissonance, right? It's like guys are going through struggles, and if you were the leader of becoming a respectable man, they're like, that's the gap that's being built.
Bro, that's sick, bro. That's really cool, bro, that you're getting people like that.
Oh yeah, you'll get them too.
Oh yeah. I just finished it.
So let's change up the bio really quick. I already got it laid out. Either build a physique man worthy of respect, or I help men build a physique man worthy of respect. Whatever one really sounds better to you.
I like helping men build a physique and man worthy of respect. I think that's
Cool.
good.
Let's get that in.
So it doesn't matter what type of men, just men.
Yes. Yeah. No, the demographic of men, the demographic of people you're coaching does not matter. This is why I don't like the whole skinny fat offer, because then you're only honing in on skinny fat, and people think, okay, well, that's me niching down. But again, we're selling self-identity, so we got to niche down on self-identity. Because why? When people look in the mirror and they see a skinny fat men, they don't see skinny fat. They see insecure. They see lost. They see not understanding. They see a lack of respect for themselves. It's like the self-identity shift that we create in our audience. Let's see, how do I put that? People need a self-identity shift before they can have a physical transformation. If you put action before self-identity, you fail people. But if you put self-identity before action, you let people succeed. It's literally in the book Atomic Habits. Actions only stem from a proper self-identity, right? If you try to take an action outside of your self-identity, you won't get far, all right? And so again, we want to let people wear the sunglasses. I don't know if you saw that reel I made, but you want to transform people's self-identity through your content, that they start seeing a better version of themselves over the next couple of weeks and months, right? And then the gap they're missing is like that specific coaching. So here's what our offer is going to be eventually, one-on-one coaching. We'll start at 3 months for 2K, 6 months for 3K. Don't sell anything less at the moment. Literally just sell 3 months for 2K, 6 months for 3K. That's what you pitch. First things first is make sure these calls are an hour long. I want to do 30 minutes. There's just way too many booking times in here.
So 1 hour?
Yeah, set it to an hour, no buffers.
All right.
But you'll need an hour too. So yeah, because look at here, if you book it on Monday, you only get 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 booking times. Over here, you got fucking 12 of them. And when somebody sees this, they have decision fatigue. I always say this. If people aren't in shape, it's because they can't make good decisions. So the simpler the process we have, the more likely we are to actually get coaching clients. We have to make the decision-making process so fucking simple. Because if it's overcomplicated, these people clearly can't already make good decisions. So, 12 to 7s when you're taking calls.
Yeah, should I shorten that?
I would just say I would make it probably. I would have a 1 to 2 hour time gap in between.
Okay.
So
Like 3.
possibly, I would probably say 12 to 3, 5 to 7, something like that, or at least have an hour in between. These are a lot of commitment questions, all right? So when somebody actually books in, they're having to commit multiple times, like pretty much on this questionnaire.
Yeah.
And the more verbal yeses or the more just commitments we can get, micro commitments, the more likely they actually commit to the program. And then what we can do too is we're going to implement a lot of commitments in the sales calls. And so like by the end of the call, when you pitch them, if they've gone through all the Calendly commitments and they've gone through all the verbal commitments on the sales call, it's like next to impossible for them to back out, unless they truly don't have money. It's like they're never going to back out. they're going to go to the financing route that because you got them to commit so many times.
Yeah.
So, and then eventually you'll have so much lead flow, so many people having the option to book in that we don't also want to waste time and get on calls with just not good people.
100%. Let's do it.
Okay, so that's good to go. Right here is how we're going to use it. You watch the PR Accelerator systems, right? The top of funnel, middle, bottom.
Yeah.
All right. So generally, I find that structuring out your IG to be top of funnel, your stories to be middle, and then your YouTube to be middle and bottom of funnel is the best way to go.
Yeah.
We want as much engagement on your main page, your reels and stuff like that. So you gain a new audience and you get more story views, right? Like, do you know how many story views you get at the moment if you're just kind of uploading regularly?
Like if I'm uploading like a shit ton?
Just like regular, like on average, what do you find yourself getting?
Well, if I post like 3 to 5 stories a day, I'll probably get like 6, 7. But if I'm posting like 15 plus, probably like between 200 to 400.
Right. Yeah, and then just increasing the actual engagement in the reels will drive more people to stories. But those definitely aren't bad numbers. Those are pretty good.
And just like consistently, like the same people, man, just like liking it. Like they'll like the same stories too.
Oh yeah.
So they're just waiting.
Yeah, it's a part of it. So with IGB and top of funnel, basically what you want to do is like, these talking heads are good and all, they'll nurture and they'll convert, but like long term, we got to build up the brand.
Yeah.
And like I made the mistake in the past where changing it now where I did way too many talking on my Instagram and my Instagram engagement just went to shit.
I think that's what happened with mine, bro.
Yeah. So, with my content strategist too, it's like the reels should just be focused just on how many views you can get. A lot of people say otherwise, but like if we properly build out the funnel in a way, it's going to be perfect.
Yeah. I was struggling with this for such a long time too. This was like my main issue.
Mm-hmm.
I would look at like, for example, like Sam Millsap shit. Like he just fucking put shit out there.
But Sam's going to fall off soon.
Dude, he's good though at posting, bro. Like, cause like the talking, cause what works for me, like what you said, is like those videos that I'll do, and I'll put like a caption there, right? And it like recaption, and then that increases engagement. I get a lot of views on that.
We're just going to be focusing on what's already doing well.
Yeah,
so, like, they're great, and then having that general line of messaging as well is really good.
Okay.
So talking about, 5 signs you have a physique that demands respect. Something I went off on is how I built my 5 things that helped me build my dream physique at 21. It's just like a content framework I raped that it brought in a shit ton of views, and those views poured into all these other talking heads and stuff like that. Cause it's really hard to blow up off talking heads. It's really hard. And so we want to use them sparingly, right? Like maybe 3 to 4 talking heads a week in terms of real content.
Yeah.
Talk on your stories all day, but it's again, use the reels for top of funnel, gaining a large audience attention, right? Use the stories as middle, so talking, so building trust and education. And then use the YouTube for, again, trust and education and then conversion. And the stories will be for conversion as well. But yeah, you just want to replicate everything getting over like 5,000 views pretty much.
Yeah, I definitely could do that. I could definitely do that. I just I fuck my shit up every time when I do the talking heads, so I noticed. I didn't know that just sticking to just sticking to
It's not fucking. There's a lot of good stuff in here that over the next month people will pour into.
yeah,
But again, we got to grow the audience,
yeah,
and yeah, gaining a lot more followers too is really going to establish your authority figure.
yep.
So, and that will drive more link clicks, more conversion to over to YouTube too. So that will be good. But yeah, that's why we're gonna fill out the SOP, so you can just really go through, see what's working well. Again, I would add in the most viral stuff first, and then
Yeah.
you can also look at what's doing, 5K views plus is good. I would look at what's doing 10K plus views. Yeah, so you want to gather like the pool of pain points and the pool of desired outcomes, you're speaking to, right? So pain points, desired outcomes, and then bridging the gap with that piece of content. So pain points of your ideal client is going to be he has low amounts of respect from women, from men, for himself.
Yep.
And then you dig even deeper down to what that means, right? So always ask yourself why twice. That's a really important thing to understand. Ask yourself why twice. So what is another good word? What is my client's pain point? He doesn't get respect. Well, what does that mean? On a deeper level. And we dig deep down to like self-identity level.
Women don't find them fuckable.
Yeah, exactly. So 5 signs that your girlfriend's gonna cheat on you. Something like that.
Bad views right now.
But then inside of our copywriting, we want to paint the desired outcome as well. So bridging pain points and desired outcomes with content.
Should I do probably you're probably gonna see both, but you see how it says 5 signs you have a physique that demands respect? That's like validating that, like, oh, like, damn, let me see if I have a physique that demands respect. So like,
yeah, you should do 5 things that help me build a physique that demands respect. First off, you're gonna have more haters. Why? Because you're positioning yourself as somebody who has a physique that demands respect.
Yeah.
When I say I have my dream physique at 21, all the comments are, you only have it because of steroids. Yeah, true. But go ahead and hate. I'm gonna be smart.
I saw you in person, bro, and I was like, damn, bro. You're nice thoughts.
Yeah, people always think I'm so much smaller in real life.
For social media, you're like way bigger than I thought.
Yeah, they're like, bro, I thought you'd be 5'7".
No blaze, bro.
So definitely position is, I would do a lot more of these. These are great. 5 things that help me build a physique that, worthy of respect or that demands respect. And it's, make it simple like that. But then inside of your copywriting, again, you want to create cognitive dissonance. You shouldn't be here trying to state like ChatGPT responses.
Yeah.
Let me pull up one of mine. I'll kind of run you through what I was thinking when I did it. Dude, I'm telling you, in content, you want to have a good ego, like an ethical ego. You want to have a large ego, and the way to back up your large ego online is just to provide the value and to be there for people. I get away with having a huge ego online. I think I do. Because again, I listen to the people that are buying. When a lot of people are buying into my fitness, like when it was really blowing up, they're saying, first off, when I first saw you, I was like, oh, this guy has a big ego. He's kind of a dickhead, but I like it. And then they saw my relatable content and they're like, oh shit. Like, he's just like me, but he has this like large ego that every man wants.
Yeah.
To make him more fuckable.
Yeah.
So 5 things that help me get jacked to 21. This is a little bit more just kind of talking to them right here. So instead of listing out, just like, if you went over the hooks module, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like contrarian beliefs will create cognitive dissonance. Carbs are not the enemy. I started off with that first one because that's like the biggest misconception people have. And so that's why I put that in there. Let's see if I can't find a way better one though, because I think there was. Yeah, so I'm 21, betrayed for 4 years. This is how I got my dream physique. And I kind of ran through the story inside of this. Spent 2.5 years bulking before my first cut. Let's talk cardio, diet, routine, accountability. And so this is literally like copywriting a video sales letter almost.
People be reading that?
What's that?
People read that?
All day, dude.
Damn.
Yeah. And then like this last one, accountability. Social accountability is the strongest type of accountability. So get a coach to look out for your blind spots. I'll leave that last one as a little CTA, but it's not like a direct CTA, it's an indirect CTA.
100%.
So yeah, when we're doing like CTAs inside of real content, it's always what I did. So you get them to start thinking like you. All right. Instead of saying hire a coach, say I hired a coach. And they're like, if I want similar outcomes as Andrew, I'm going to do what he did. And then yeah, put a lot of things in the I perspective. What I'm noticing over on Instagram is you're just again stating the ChatGPT responses. You want to put in I, right?
Yeah.
You're the leader. They want that personalized story. You could say you're not dieting hard enough. This is something I had to realize 6 months ago, after I got stuck, after I plateaued after losing 10 pounds. I only lost those 10 pounds because I started eating healthier, getting my steps in, but then I plateaued for 2 months, for example, and had to realize that I actually wasn't tracking and doing everything I needed to do to achieve my result. And if you say you want something, but you don't do what it takes, then do you truly want it, question mark? Then boom, leave it there. Leave them with a question to think about. Right? So again, remember, coaching is shifting thoughts and beliefs. It's not providing value like this. Providing value is shifting the thoughts and beliefs. So always think about coaching as shifting thoughts and beliefs. All right? And you're using social media as a mass psyop to create clients, right? People don't need fitness coaches, so you have to use your social media in a way to make them need fitness coaches.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like,
Right.
like bridging the gap. Like,
Yeah, you want to use psychology to think about, okay, have you ever hired a fitness coach yourself?
nah.
No. Well, I did. And what got me to hire my first fitness coach like 2 years ago is I was lost, I was out of shape, I got cheated on. I was working at a job for $15.50 an hour when I knew my value was so much higher. Right.
Yeah.
And I use that a lot because my pain points speak to other people's pain points. And then I said my decision making process is I was going to enter a show and invest into a fitness coach because that's why I saw the best change I can make was. And I'm not shitting you, bro. I think I've I don't know, I've signed on 12 people for, bodybuilding preps because literally they're like, I want to do exactly what you did to change your life. So it's always providing a path, not a program. All right. So you provide the path that you followed in your content and they'll follow the same path. So it's like, tell them what your decision-making process was up until you made that change. Because your ideal client's the person you were before you made that change. And they're thinking like you, right? And then you're just the go-to guy to actually help them create that change.
Like, for the path, like, I just locked in, bro. Like, I didn't hire,
Right.
like, I read a lot of books.
Well, that's fine. It's like you're going to have a program that lays it all out for them and helps them achieve the success much quicker.
Okay.
Right. That's all it is. It's like, yes, don't compare it to my path or somebody else's. That's going to be like also the first rule of thumb when it comes to this game. Like unfollow as many other fitness coaches as possible and other influencers. Don't pay attention to them because you'll have more clarity on your path. You'll put more value on your path and your information versus trying to sound like somebody else. Mistake I've made for way too long. I saw somebody else doing better than me, so I tried to sound a little bit more like him, thinking that if I sound more like him, I'll make more money. But he only made more money because he just focused on the value he had to provide. And it's your most authentic value that creates the money. And then you also don't commoditize yourself. You're just extremely different from everybody else online.
So just unfollow everybody.
I mean, unfollow everybody that you see is kind of possibly, I don't know, distracting you from, your own path, your own story. Or just don't pay attention,